Greetings to one and all over here. So warm welcome to my little, we have a chit chat show with Chitra. She's like the canvas. Yes, I have been following up post Chitra for such a long time on LinkedIn. And maybe I would call this, whatever talk we are going to have for the next 30 minutes. Maybe we call it the ways to seize the day. Maybe the Carpe Diem show, I would just call it like that. Okay. So before we begin, for those who know and for those who don't know, it's my honor to introduce Ms. Chitra Lele over here. So I'm going to what exactly she is, as I told you at the beginning, she is like canvas. She is actually, there's a lot of blend of colors over there. So what are the colors? Let me go across. She's a young entrepreneur, software engineer, solution architect, record setting author, award-winning poet, and research scholar. Okay, super impressed. Okay, right at the beginning, super impressed. Her publications include scholarly articles, research papers, poetry anthologies, and academic and reference books. Through her research studies, software projects, academic books, and social transformation initiatives, Chitra wants to help people to tap into their innate powerhouse of positive energy. Okay, that's a lot. That's a huge lot what you're doing. And I believe, Chitra, you have also got letters praising your, the book, whatever you have written, and even from the Queen, right? And the President of India. So let's begin on that. How does it feel? So let's begin on that. You got the letter, and would you like to share with us?
Sure. At the outset, I would like to thank you, Sunita ma'am, for introducing me in such a colorful manner. And actually, this cosmic canvas of mine is incomplete without kind people like yourself. The colors, the holy hues of happiness and support that people like you add to my cosmic canvas is what makes it cosmic. Okay.
Thank you so much.
My life's canvas is otherwise it would be empty and colorless without you people. I mean, you people have kept me going, especially friends from LinkedIn verse, friends from my college days, friends from my uni campus right now, my teammates, my parents, my grandparents. So when I started out my journey, be it studies or even my software journey, which I started out 3 years ago, and my academic journey in terms of actually writing books, I started out around 6 to 7 years ago. Okay. So when I started out all these sub journeys of my life, I never had aim in mind that I'll be receiving any awards or any commendation letters. I just had this progressive focus that I need to help people to tap into their innate powerhouse of positive energy through various mediums. Because you can't just stick to one medium, because there's people of different categories and they have different orientation mindsets. So you have to cater to several mindsets. Some have a technical mindset, some have a creative mindset, some have an academic mindset. So that's why I had all these streams going on for me. And all this happened, at a very early age for me, like around 7 to 8 years ago, when I was still studying. I was doing my undergrad and grad studies. And that's how, institutions, be it peace organizations or literally institutions or world leaders, took notice of my work, because they were impressed that such a young person is doing something for the social transformation landscape of the world. And that's how I received a lot of letters of commendation, right from the President of India, our Honorable President of India, to Her Excellency Queen Elizabeth, and several other Governor Generals, Prime Ministers, Presidents across the globe, because I've also worked with several such dignitaries and their teams in the fields of education, literature, and peacemaking over the last 8 years, 8 to 9 years, right from age 18. And more than the awards or the commendation letters, it's the connections that I've made through this journey. I would say that is my true reward, because these people keep me going, because their awards or letters of commendation, the encouraging words that they've shared with me, those are the driving force for my journey so far. And that gives me the impetus to be and do better, and also to include kind people like you in my caravan of social transformation. So I am really thankful that we both got connected through LinkedIn, because that's
absolutely
that's the power of the virtual village. When you use it to the advantage of the collective community, then you are bound to meet like-minded people. Even if they're just 10 like-minded people, that's enough for you. You can do a lot of work. So
absolutely.
I'm so happy that you've joined my caravan and I've joined yours. And I'm sure going forward, our combined networks will also, we will come together to do something really great for our collective community.
Yes, I think that is the motto. We just want to, being wise at such a young age. Of course, wisdom and age, it's not like that together. But what impresses me the most and what attracted me the most, to be honest, is, we all aim to do extraordinary things. But what you have done is, at a very young age, you have done ordinary things, but in an extraordinary way. That's why you stand out. You are an inspiration. So thank you, Chitra, for sharing that insight with us. And of course, I am honored, at the same time humbled by the knowledge. Okay, I'm going to come to the second question. I have one for you. You are a blend. We were talking about the Chitra, the colors, maybe you're more than with maybe that. So we have got innovation, you have compassion, you have creativity, technology. If you had to identify one singular component with which, okay, this is what is the essence of me, which one will it be and why?
Okay, let me just touch upon your point of, I've been an inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just me. Actually, all of us are, we have this source of inspiration within us. I'm just trying to help people to tap into that source of their self-inspiration, that engine is within themselves. So once we are self-inspired, then we'll be less focused on competition and more on, collaboration. So all of us have this source of inspiration, both for the core self and for others. And you too are a source of inspiration, because when you encourage people like myself, you are sharing your positive energy with me. And in the process, we are amplifying it through our conversation and sharing it with our networks. Okay.
Yes.
And now coming to your question, it's very interesting. Actually, if you see the terms that you've used, innovation, compassion, creativity, technology, these are actually related to our hemispheres, right and left hemisphere. So in that sense, all these terms are very close to my heart. For example, in the outer life of my personality, where I'm a software engineer and a computer science student, although it's a limited aspect of my personality, I'm still trying to impact my software field through my own software solutions, which are based on social transformation and ethically aligned design principles. So in that case, what is happening is I'm trying to impact people, maybe the teams that I'm working with, the clients that I'm working with. Yes, my sphere of influence is limited. But when it comes to my inner limitless life, which is based on my purpose and passion, my purpose of social transformation and world peace, and my passion of writing academic books, there I have a larger, a reach, a larger influence area. So, and both these aspects are very close to my heart. They define my entire essence, because one aspect keeps my brains and gray cells active. That is my field of software profession. And the other aspect, my purpose and passion, they keep my inner spark ignited. So I am incomplete, I need both of them. If one of them is missing in the picture, in the canvas, then my canvas is incomplete. So I need both of them, and I relate to both, because innovation, technology, it's related to your left hemisphere.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Creativity, compassion, inspiration, motivation are all a part of your right.
Right. Yes.
Try to balance both. It's a difficult task. It's a lifelong journey, but I try to do it day in and day out.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, this is something, when you were telling me, I was thinking, if we try to look into the way we balance, I think you have formed that harmony, if I may call it, the rhythm you have discovered, and you are trying to do it. You're creating an orchestra, I would rather say, the way, with your soul and with your intellect, and both with so much of clarity. Professionally, yes, definitely, not only professionally, spiritually, and also as a community member. I think so. With that, when I talk about community, I come to the next part, which is, I always see, in your post you write about, we talk about the power of hashtag. It's a very common. So we have this hashtag Chitra Cares, you put it in, and through that you share a lot of insightful information, and also a lot of updates. Something which I was reading your post to do with food. The punning of the food and how you are. So please enlighten us on that.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and when you talk about personal branding, hashtag is a very important aspect.
Absolutely, coming to that.
In the social media landscape. So see, apart from progressing in my computer science field, I want to contribute to the society in terms of social transformation. And as I mentioned earlier, I do it through various mediums like poetry,
Yes.
literature, education. So what happens is through these fields, I'm trying to encourage one and all, especially youth, the youth segment of today, people of my age, because most of the people of my age, unfortunately, are more into the pub culture and all, the other things. I'm not passing a judgment, but I would also like them to, contribute some amount of time and efforts for the betterment of our world. So that with that intention in mind, I started with Chitra Cares. Right from day one, if you see, if you see my Chitra Cares hashtag, you will not see any personal branding efforts under it. You will see social transformation efforts, wherein I try to mix business principles with spirituality. Because this blending has to be there. Because if I directly talk about social transformation or world peace on LinkedIn, people will call me a mad hatter, because they'll think, what's wrong with her? LinkedIn is not meant for social transformation, and in fact, it is meant for social transformation, because you can use your business initiative, business sense, and combine it with social transformation initiatives to make a larger impact. There's something called as CSR also, corporate social responsibility.
Yes.
Most people talk about it. Most companies talk about it. They have a budget for it. How many people actually implement it? That's very important. For tax benefits and everything, most companies do it. But what is the impact? At the grassroots level, what's the impact? So that's what I try to bring out through my Chitra Cares hashtag. That's one of the ways. The other ways are actually on the field campaigns, my corporate projects, my seminars, books. I've also introduced these aspects on my Chitra Cares, segment hashtag.
Yes.
And people who are, people who have that kind of a orientation, for example, like yourself, will understand the deeper meaning of it. It's not just fun. Or it's not just a pun. There's something beyond it. Because when I talk about trees, and today I posted a post on trees using my punny language. But then I was talking about trees in terms of how trees impact us as human beings, because each element of nature has some life lesson embedded in it. So those who understand it, then the people approach me or write, meaningful comments, and then we can probably, include people in my tree campaigns, tree saving campaigns, or, environmental protection campaigns. Because if I directly talk about them on my social media page, LinkedIn, people will not understand it. They'll not relate to it, because people view LinkedIn as purely a business initiative or business medium of establishing that business brand as well as personal brand. So yeah, that is my focus and intention of starting off with Chitra Cares.
Yeah, it's always, just listening to you, it is always refreshing to read about that. I remember, of course, I was looking at the post about the trees, and trees are something, just to your thought, it's indeed, it's so insightful, because it is what helps us to keep us our roots. We are reminded of our roots, which is so important, so that whatever happens, we are still rooted. And also, even if we spread our wings, it's fine. You can always come back to your roots. And as you rightly said, any storms happen, the deeper the roots are, we are able to withstand it.
Absolutely.
So that's great.
You've summarized it really well. I mean, you really got the gist of it. Yeah, because see, when you said you spread your wings, so when you spread your branches out,
yes,
you should always remain rooted, firmly grounded to your values. So yeah, exactly. You've summarized it really well, really well. Yeah.
And this also reminds me, I think my father used to say that the more fruit the tree has, it means of humility and understanding and acceptance. Talking with you and looking at your personality reminded me of that. So
thank you. I'm a very ordinary young person, but yes, after listening to what Sir has shared with you, this reminds me of what my my mom always tells me, that the higher one, we all exalt the higher one, the higher essence. But the higher essence or the higher one exalts only the humblest being on earth. So yeah, right. So the fruits of humility are very important. Yeah, right.
Yes. So we are also striking a lot of notes of harmony. So lovely to have an orchestra like this. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one question. Okay, that has been irking me right from the beginning. You are only you are being a person who makes so much of difference in the virtual world, okay, through your platform, through your Chitra Care, so everything. But you are selectively available, visible on social media. I mean, you don't like WhatsApp, etc., Facebook, nothing. What is the reason for this?
Okay, yeah, that's a very, very apt question. Yeah, like I have explored the other options like WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
But the purpose that I'm trying to serve through my studies, profession, passion, and purpose is not served through those platforms, or rather, they are not able to support me in my purpose. Because if you see,
Okay.
most of those platforms are more of like, a selfie-oriented culture, or for example, on Facebook, wherever you travel, you put up those pictures. So that's something that I'm not able to understand, because when I travel with my family, in the US, in the UK, India, anywhere, other Asian countries, it's a personal thing for me. So, I have lots of photographs, but I don't put them online, and I probably will share it in my limited circle, maybe through an email or something. So, for example, even Instagram stories and all, if you say there's stories about yourself, I'm not against it. It's all about me, but that's something I cannot relate to on a long-term
Okay.
basis.
Okay.
And second, as you know, I started off my corporate journey at a very young age while I was studying. So, and I'm also doing my higher studies now. So, invest in that kind of time and energy and efforts in other media, social media platforms is foolishness for me. I'm not discounting the other platforms. They definitely have their purpose, but somehow my purpose does not coincide with their way of operating or their way of delivering content to people. LinkedIn was one place that I found traction for my content, because apart from gaining business initiatives or business collaborative ventures, I also have limited exposure in terms of my social transformation projects also. So that's why I'm concentrating fully on LinkedIn currently. I don't know whether I'll rejoin the other platforms as of now, maybe not in the near future, and unless I finish my studies. But those platforms will be just there, I won't be using them heavily.
Yes, yes. I really love the clarity in your vision, and the way your time management. I think your time management skills are really they deserve appreciation, because you ask at this age, when we are still struggling with priorities and preferences and what to do, we try to do out a work-home balance. You're already very sought out that, okay, this is my vision. I want to do this, and for this, if it is not required, I don't do. And private life, of course, we all love our private lives, and it's totally. I completely understand, appreciate it. Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of learning over there.
I really appreciate your feedback, but I would like to share just two to three points which help everyone, and they're doable. Just that you need to be persistent. There are very two important points in my life that have played critical role in the time management domain of my life. One is observation of people, situations, and circumstances, and one is interaction with people, situations, circumstances. So I have, thanks to my grandparents, especially my maternal grandfather, he has taught me how to observe a situation. I mean, even if the situation or the stakeholders are directly related to you, but not to be impacted by their reaction or responses. If you observe a particular situation, like for example, when I spoke about social media, I did, when I started posting there on Facebook, Twitter, as I told you, I was there for some time, like 4 to 6 months.
Yes.
I didn't get bogged down that I'm not getting any response. I just observed the situation. And then within 4 to 6 months, I understood that this platform is not meant for me. I should not be wasting my time. So had I been involved, oh God, person A is getting so many likes for that picture which she has posted. She's standing on a mountain with her hands spread out. But I'm talking about how to save forests on a mountain or whatever, how to avoid deforestation, but nobody's listening to me. Nobody's tuning into my post. That's because Facebook is not meant for that. Had I not realized it, had I not just observed the dynamics, I would have been stuck there even today after like 1 year and wasted my time for one more year. So observation and interaction from an objective observer viewpoint, the wise witness mode, will definitely help all of us to save up on our time, energy, and efforts. And then you can direct it to whatever initiatives you have at hand.
Absolutely. And I think, Chitra, that comes from a lot of, one thing which is, which you have, and which is one thing which even I appreciate, is it comes with a lot of self-security. You're so secure in your vision. You're so secure in your dreams, that, okay, you find, okay, this platform is not good and I don't need this platform's applause. Because I am
Right.
living my life for a cause. I don't need it from here. So I might as well move into another platform. And that is not going to affect my personality or my vision. I mean, that says so much about your character, your strength of character. So thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that all those who are listening will learn a lot from this. One little,
Yeah. I just,
you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just want to add one more point to you.
Please do that. Yeah.
Your beautiful feedback. Everybody has this strength of character. Everybody. What to do is, I'll give you a simple tip. If people actually follow this, say on a weekly basis, not even daily, if you do something that you love, any creative activity, be it gardening, be it artwork, even for 2 hours per week, you will instantly re-establish your inner connection, with the inner spark that you have. Once that inner spark is ignited, then your vision, you definitely have a vision. Everybody definitely has a pure purpose, a higher vision than the usual day work that we do. And that vision will come to light. It will become more vivid, and you will understand where you have to invest your time, money, efforts, emotional energy, everything. This is one thing. I absolutely every weekend I indulge in some kind of creative outlet, creative activity. I do that every weekend. I've been doing for the last almost 8 years.
Fantastic. I mean, in spite of having such a hectic work schedule and everything, I think that's great. I think that's a tip for all of us to indulge in something what we love the most. So, okay, I'm not going to ask you what keeps you going, because you have already shared with us. So,
right,
just give us an overview of a typical Chitra day.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Now, this will again go back to your first question about innovation, technology, and everything.
Yes.
See, actually, whenever I start working or start studying, whatever the first activity is, all my roles come online immediately. They are in sync with each other. For example, at one point in time, I'm either a software engineer and a computer science student who's trying to apply my principles of software engineering to the current problem, and also trying to figure out how can I put this current problem into a tangible solution in the form of books or articles or research papers. And the next moment you will find me as a research author trying to apply my new models, ecosystems to my own domain or any other domain, because as I mentioned earlier, my work or creative work, my academic work or professional work, it's a combination of that particular domain along with spiritual principles. So it's universal in tone and impact. So I'm wearing all these 4 to 5 hats all the time. And my peacemaker avatar or my academic author avatar or my researcher role, they are always on, because I'm always in this observation and interaction mode. Because that's how I get my ideas also for my next software project or my next book or for my next social transformation project. So this is how my entire day goes on. So, and I start, I won't joke, but I start off my day at 4 in the morning.
Great.
Of course, I sleep later on, but 4 to 5, which is called Brahma Muhurta.
Yes.
All thanks to my mother, who has infused this habit in me right from a very young age. I do meditation. I don't go into a very high, deep state, but I do meditation wherein I just focus on my breathing pattern for at least half an hour to 45 minutes, because that puts me in my alpha state. The brain waves are at their highest level of frequency, wherein you can get new ideas, or also understand how you can implement your already generated ideas into reality. And the same rule applies to my end of day regime. Now that end of day can happen anytime, 10:30, 9 o'clock, 11, 12. But before sleeping, I again focus on my breathing, because breath is the focal point of your life.
Yes.
So You can control your breathing, then you can control your emotional responses. And if you can control your emotional responses, you can control your emotional domains. And when your emotional domains are in control, then you have cognitive clarity for the ongoing day as well as for the next day. So that's how my day comes and goes.
So I mean, this was. Thank you so much. It was great. I mean, talking to the viewers and the ones who are going to listen. So we have with us over here. She's a young lady, and the way she has, you've crossed so many hurdles and you've done so many things, and still. And I think the learning from all of us over here is, what especially attracted me was the point that you say that you started the day with the Brahma Muhurta, the meditation, the importance you reinforce the importance of mental wellness, which is so required in this pandemic time. We have so many things going around us, and
Right.
that's a great learning. If we can take this from you and we can implement it and try to work it, and maybe so in case for whoever is watching and we would like to take it. So Chitra, in case we do a meditation for an hour in the morning, maybe 4 to 5, 5 to 6 as per our individual routine. What is the time you would suggest that then you go to your work mode after meditation? What is the time? I'm just, out of curiosity, I'm asking. Yeah.
Right. That's a very good question. Now, for beginners, I would suggest that don't start off at 4 o'clock in the morning. It won't be possible.
Yeah.
But what they can do is during now, of course, we are in lockdown mostly
Yes.
throughout the world. So what you can do is probably instead of starting off with hardcore meditation where you concentrate on your breathing, that will be very difficult in the initial phase. What you can do is when you're having your breakfast, you can start observing your breakfast plate, the size, the dimensions, the color, the feel of the spoon or fork, or the temperature of the milk that you're having, the temperature of the juice can that you're having. These are ways of building up your meditative capacity, your mindfulness. So try doing this for a week. For example, now if you're working at your desk computer, after say 45 minutes, wait for a while, and then observe your work. Observe the layer of dust sitting on your workstation, or observe the texture of your screen, or whether it's scratchy or whether it doesn't have any scratches. So once you develop this habit, then you can jump into observing your breath. The inflow, outflow, the temperature of a breath. Does it feel warm, or does it feel smooth, or does it feel fuzzy? So this is how you start off, with your mind, with your eyes open. Only then you can use your second sight when you close your eyes to focus on a particular object to improve your progressive focus. So you can do these kind of small meditation activities during the day, in chunks of 5 to 10 minutes. Another thing you can do is I'll give you a very, very simple exercise that you can do. Probably, when we share our video, I'll also share the links for those exercises.
Please do that. Please do that. Yeah.
Something called as maze meditation. It's like a maze, and then you use a pen or pencil to move the point from the entry and then get it out through the exit. So that also improves your meditative capacity and your concentration ability. So lots of techniques that you need to do for at least a month or two, and then you can jump into hardcore meditation.
Okay, but at least we have a starting point thanks to you, right? You have given us a starting point, and maybe tomorrow I'm definitely going to look at my breakfast plate and see, okay, what can I do? Though maybe I'll be a little bit busy with serving and all that, but I don't mind. I'm going to take some time off and just look at my breakfast plate. But what you said, the workplace is staring at your when you're doing work. So much of us are continuously online. Yes, we do take time, but I don't think I observe the dust. But yeah, I do something else, but I just take sometimes those gaps, as you say, so little capsules. That's so very helpful. So yeah, and thank you for giving us that, that information and the knowledge that, okay, when you are taking that break, how you can make the break, you can transform it to something which is more productive for yourself instead of, So I think that will also add in a lot of clarity and streamlining in what we are doing every day. Yes, Chitra, I can't thank you enough. I mean, the thank you will be a huge thing, but extremely grateful. And I'm sure for all those who are going to watch it and listen to it, we all have our learnings. And So God bless you. Keep inspiring. Well, I'll always be looking at, and Chitra cares. May the banner always fly high, and you keep on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
Yet,
like, yeah, I would like to say something.
yes, please, please.
I'm extremely happy that we did this today, because I had this conversation. It was like a heartfelt conversation. It came from the heart hub, because you sort of opened up the space for me, and I also hope that our combined networks will also learn from our insightful share conversation,
Yes.
because you also shared some really great points, and. And going forward, I'm sure we all will do something good for ourselves and for our community, because that's our final aim. And I'm so happy that you're with me on this bandwagon.
Always,
And
always,
and
always.
yeah, and I thank you from the core of my heart for having me as your guest. I really had a great time talking to you. You are a precious soul for me. Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank you.
thank you to our audience as well. Thank you to our
brother.
audience. Yeah, and God
Yes,
bless
yes.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.